The past 2 years have been challenging for Fabienne. Faced with domestic violence, the 36-year-old and her 2 children were left with no choice but to leave their home.
The marriage was deteriorating. We were fighting every day. So I didn't feel it was a good environment for my kids. I wasn't working at the time because my daughter has autism, so I've been home with her for the last 3 years. So I didn't have any other income, so my only option besides staying was to get into shelter.
The state housed the family in a motel for nearly a year before transferring them to the Somerville Homeless Coalition's family shelter.
Our family shelter's always full. One leaves this morning, one comes tonight. There's a great need in the city and the state overall for family shelters. So there's never a room empty for more than 24 hours.
A coalition case manager helped Fabienne begin the search for permanent housing and find the appropriate services to help her autistic daughter.
When Fabienne first came into our shelter, she was very overwhelmed.
I was doing all that by myself. And then when I got there, she was on top of everything. So she basically took all the burden off of me and she was doing all the work.
My job and my collaboration with Fabienne was mostly guiding her.
Today, Fabienne and her family are out of the family shelter, living in Somerville Homeless Coalition permanent supportive housing, and getting their lives back on track.
I didn't see any other way of getting back into the normalcy. Having your own space, not having to share with other people, or showering your kid in a communal area. So, just normalcy.
Having stability at home has been especially helpful to Fabienne's 16-year-old son.
He's gone through 3 different schools, so it's impacted his grades, meeting different type of kids, getting into trouble. In a way, he was trying to be the adult. He was trying to help me. He didn't care too much about school. He was more worried about trying to get a job. Now he's calmer.
But the coalition's help doesn't end with housing. Fabienne continues to meet with a supportive services case manager who helps her handle any challenges that come up so she can stay housed for the long term.
The best part of the work I do is just being able to empower others to really, improve their lives.
In September, I'm gonna go to Bunker Hill Community College and major in social work. I think I'll better serve in the social work field because to some extent I could maybe understand more, have a little more empathy as to what really is going on with somebody that is in the same predicament. Once upon a time, I didn't know this life, and to me, when I saw someone homeless, I thought something was wrong with them. They were doing drugs or they made some kind of mistake in their life. That's what I used to think until it happened to me, and I realized, this can happen to anybody.
When we started 30 years ago, we had this very simple idea to address homelessness in Somerville. And then over the last 12 years, we've really shifted our focus to trying to prevent people from becoming homeless because it's so hard to get them back into housing. It costs so much less to prevent a family from becoming homeless, certainly than it does to have them in a shelter where it's terribly disruptive, emotionally for the family, but also very expensive for society. I've always felt that Somerville is a community that cares. And it's not just talk, it's like people are walking the walk. We could not do the work that we do without the support we get from everyone, and we're very grateful for it.